Hello, guys. Welcome back to that Cov pod and our Arsenal preview. It's come round quick, hasn't it? Myself and Jig are joined by Adam Keys, host of the Arsenal Therapy Pod. Me and Jig are certainly hoping the Arsenal fans will need some therapy after Friday night and the Sky Blues go there and get a massive 3 points on the opening day. Adam, thanks so much for coming on, mate. You must be high as a kite after last season, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird one because obviously we won the league. Then we had the Champions League final, lose on penalties, and then we have a parade the next day. So we have this unbelievable low, and then straight in, wake up the next day. And I got up and I was thinking, like, what's it going to be like? Came out of my hotel and I was just surrounded by Arsenal fans, and it was just insane. So, yeah, it finished very, very nicely. And then the Community Shield, I think, came at a time when we all needed it. The transfer window has been quite frustrating for many clubs, and just having football back was a reminder of what we all love.
Absolutely. Jig, what are your thoughts on Arsenal last season? Obviously, they were so close to that double, and that Gabriel penalty must be going around in your mind, Adam, like the Dabo one was going around in my mind for about 3 years. What do you reckon of Arsenal, Jig?
They're good. They're solid. I think they're favourites for this season again, aren't they? I've liked the Arsenal teams over the years. I love the Invincibles team. Incredible. Henry's probably my all-time favourite player in the Premier League. But the Arsenal team, and this is just my opinion, I'm probably going to get slated by Arsenal fans for this. The Arsenal team of old were a real beautiful footballing team, and this team is more physical, more set piece, more corners. You got your big men. You get Gabriel getting in there, chipping in with goals. It's just a bit different, but it's worked for them, and they've won the league on it. So if it works, you can't knock it.
That physicality is something we've seen. It feels like the game has changed at the very top of the game.
I think that's what it is, and they've adapted, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Is it something Arsenal fans seem to get a lot of stick from everyone? Adam, is that the case? There was the set piece goals all over the show last season.
Yeah, I mean, there were loads of set pieces last year, and I think the first and second most goals scored in the Prem were new records, and I think it might have been us and Spurs actually with the top two scorers from set pieces. But that was more than
ever that many goals last season.
Yeah, I think they were pretty much all set pieces. So, but it's funny because we keep hearing the new rules about throw-ins, all of this. We've barely got a shot from a throw-in. We're so bad at them. There was one throw that Declan Rice got a lot of purchase on. Everyone was like, "That's a great throw." Didn't lead to anything, but that was the closest we came to looking good from a long throw. So there are misconceptions about our set piece goals, and some of them are second phase as well. Zubimendi scoring a volley from outside the box, for example. Those kind of goals, ball breaks, we get the ball back in and score those kind of goals. But we are physical. There's no doubt about that. It's interesting because I do think people have these comparisons about the Invincibles team. You put Henry in the current team, they get 100 points. You put Gyökeres in the Invincibles team, I'll just say they don't get 90 points.
We'll have no Gyökeres on this channel. We'll come on to our mate Victor in a little bit. Talk to us about Arsenal's summer. Like you mentioned, it has been a bit quiet. Also a bit interested for this game. It feels like the World Cup boys might still be out in terms of Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the summer's been fairly quiet. Trossard going out to Besiktas and Solis coming in, the former Norwich winger as well.
Yeah, Saka and Rice played on Sunday. So Rice got 45 minutes, Saka got 30, but they each had 2 training sessions coming into that game. It was a surprise that they both got on the pitch. Even Madueke had come back at the beginning of the week. He played half an hour against Como, then played 60 minutes in the Community Shield. He looked Madueke-esque, very erratic, fast, strong, all the things. Then he gets to the final third, and you know what's coming. It's unpredictability. But for the most
part, big England fans, having watched the World Cup, yeah.
I think I really like Madueke, but he's a player that you kind of have to accept that minute by minute, you don't know what's going to happen. He can have a good 5 minutes and then a bad 5 minutes, and that's him. It's not even game-to-game consistency. It's literally within a game. But for the most part, our players are back now. I wasn't sure how Sunday was going to go because of that reason, but we looked very, very sharp in the Community Shield. Lewis Skelly's looking excellent. Bruno had a really good half. That's a huge signing for us. And I live in the Northeast. I've watched a lot of Bruno over the years, and this is a player we've been waiting 6 years for. We came very close to buying him from Brazil twice, then from Lyon, then he went to Newcastle. So it feels like a long time coming with this deal. And for me, I do go to St. James's to watch Newcastle as well. And this is a player that I've just been jealous of since the day they signed him. And obviously seeing him home and away, playing against Arsenal, it's been hard watching Bruno line up in a black and white shirt. So this is a big, big one. And beyond that, there are a few players that are still coming back in. Zubimendi has only played a bit of football, Marino as well. But we are seeing Kai Havertz, Gyökeres, Sharp, and defensively, we're still without Timber and Saliba, who are obviously massive losses for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hearing some of those names reeled off there, Jig and Bruno coming in over the summer, I'm scared again now. What about you, mate?
I think that, like you said, he'll be a great signing for you. I think he's big, he's physical, he's strong, he's loves to get involved, loves to get stuck in. He chips in with a goal here and there, but I think he'll free up Rice a bit more to push on a bit. Yeah, very good signing. You've got a new winger, Zolis.
Yeah.
Left winger, 23 assists. I'm being a stat man here, so I'm stealing your job. Sorry about this. 23 assists for Bruges last year. So I think that'll be a potential good addition for you as well. I don't know. Like Simon just said, when you reel off the names, before that, we had this little bit of hope. We had a pre-season friendly against Monaco. We looked pretty good, and I thought, oh, we're ready now. We're ready for the Premier League. Then I watched Arsenal against Man City, and I thought, oh God, I don't know if we're ready. But, yeah.
It's a tough start. I mean, look at that for a tough start. It's champions versus champions. Let's not forget that. You give that one the big billing on Sky. From an Arsenal point of view, I don't know if it feels like a banana skin, but a newly promoted team at home first up when you are favourites to win the title, is that a different kind of pressure, Adam?
Yeah, I think it's definitely almost like a trap game. It's one of those, you've the Community Shield, then you've got Villa and Chelsea coming up after that. 2 tough games. And I think some people will almost write this game off expecting 3 points. And if we don't play well, we dropped any form of points, there would be a meltdown, because there's already meltdowns because we haven't gone and bought a superstar. We've obviously tried to get Vinny Jr. We were in for Morgan Rogers. Barcola was one that we pulled out of a while ago. And we could still go back in there, but we haven't gone and got that elite attacker that we all expected coming into the window. And even defensively, we've known for a while Saliba was out. So if we go and don't do the business against Coventry, there is going to be a lot of heat on the club. But the one thing I would say about this group of players and the manager is they don't take the foot off the gas. Doesn't matter if it's Coventry or Man City. Arteta will have it drilled into them that this is a huge game. And I think his background and his playing days, that probably feeds into that as well. Because Arteta spent a lot of his career at Everton. His prime years were really spent at Everton. And he knew that those games were really tough. He experienced some real banana skin games at Arsenal where we dropped points we shouldn't have. And even as a manager, that's been the case. The last time we played a promoted side on the opening day was Brentford in 2021. It was also a Friday night, as far as I remember. We had Carragher and Neville dancing with the Brentford fans. They beat us 2-0, but we're a very different side now. And I think this will be taken extremely serious. And I hope there's a swagger as well with we're champions and they come out and play like that.
Yeah, I think the game being away from home, and if it was at the CBS, then we'd have far more belief. Big fireworks in front of a home crowd. The fact that the Emirates does make it a lot trickier. I've done my Premier League 1 to 20. I can tell you that I had Arsenal top, so there's some confidence or maybe a curse for you there, Adam. Jig, are you expecting Arsenal to go on and win this Premier League? They've never retained the Premier League title, so a bit of a hoodoo there.
I am. I don't think. This just goes throughout the whole of the Premier League for me. I don't think it's as strong as what it has been the last few seasons. I think it's slowly got weaker, and the top teams aren't as strong as what they used to be, and it opens it up for everyone else. But I do think that Arsenal will win it, especially after watching them against Man City the other day. They looked well drilled. Arteta's been, how long's he been at Arsenal now? He's been there quite a while, hasn't he? He's been pretty consistent.
7 years in December.
7 years,
Wow.
and I think that plays a big part in it as well. Having a manager that's been there for a long time. So yeah, I think they'll win it. Yeah.
Right, we're going to jump into a very quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about Mr. Victor Gyökeres and talk about the lineups for Friday night's game, and then give our score predictions. We'll see you in a second. Over the last 20 years, the Clash Network has grown into the leading independent European media brand, representing music, film, fashion, tech, and the lifestyle around it. Clash really is the last bastion of trusted independent journalism. It operates a successful platform in print and publishes a highly collectible quarterly magazine starring an array of global music stars. The Clash team are always online across digital and social channels. They're on radio, Clash live events, and they operate an award-winning creative projects and services division. Clash's Baller Tapes, which is a reoccurring feature, platforms football players' lives on and off the pitch, with recent episodes starring Noni Madueke, Alex Scott, Axel Disasi, Alex Iwobi, and more. You can follow Clash Magazine at Clash Magazine across socials, or visit clashmusic.com now to stay ahead of the latest music and entertainment news. Play up Sky Blues. So Mr. Victor Gyökeres was one of the most popular players we've ever had at Coventry. Obviously turned himself into an absolute superstar, nearly dragged us with Hamer to the Premier League, didn't quite get there. He's gone on to become a superstar in world football. Obviously Arsenal fans have differing opinions, and we'll come to that in a sec. But talk to us about what he was like at Cov and his memories, your memories of him at Cov.
He was unbelievable. He could score a goal from nothing. I remember seeing him, a ball pinged up to him on the halfway line, 3 defenders around him, come at him head height, he's headed it, controlled his header, barged one player off, span him, knocked it past another, outran 2, 1-on-1 with the keeper, goal. It was a bit of a I am him moment, that was. But yeah, the goals he scored for us and the way he played for us, he was superb. He was incredible. I loved him. I really did. He was up there with me. I'm old enough to remember Robbie Keane. I loved him for the season we had him. I really liked Dublin for us. I thought Dion Dublin was great for us, and he's up there with me as one of the best strikers that we've ever had at the club. Yeah, so be careful here on what you say on my mate Victor.
Some good players back in that Robbie Keane time. Was it Yusuf Chipo
Hadji? Yeah.
That's 25 years since we were last in the Premier League. So obviously people who watch the Premier League and are into the Premier League have a very different view of the Cov team. But we had so many good players in that team. Jig remembers them. Unfortunately, a little bit before my time, I think, which I thought, this is my Premier League season. This is it. Gyökeres always felt a bit like when he was playing for Cov, like a year 11 playing against year 7s, just bullying everyone out the way in the Championship. Did similar in Portugal. Came in to win Arsenal the league last season and did that. Technically, I'd see that as kind of a success, but obviously technically he has some flaws. He has a lot of fans on his back because of his touch sometimes. What are your thoughts on Gyökeres at the moment, Adam, and how do you think he'll get on this season?
I think Gyökeres sits in the middle of the two polar opposite fan bases, where you've got two camps with Arsenal. You've got this almost player culture that you'll see online where people become obsessed with an individual, and people think that he can do no wrong. It's the team's fault. Everything that he does wrong is because of a lack of service, whatever. And then you've got the other, which is this is the worst striker to ever play for Arsenal. And actually, it's somewhere in the middle. He's got a lot of qualities. His availability last year was a big reason we won the league, because Havertz missed a huge chunk of the season, played just over 500 league minutes. And Gyökeres came straight in, had virtually no preseason, worked very, very hard for those opening few months, scored some big goals, but he didn't do anything against kind of the 8 biggest teams in the league. That's where he really struggled. And you mentioned the league getting weaker. One of the things I would say in kind of pushback to that is the floor of the league has got so much stronger. And this is something you guys will really see this year. You go away to bottom of the table, it's a scrap. I came away from Wolves away last season. They were well down. Edwards had got them playing quite well, but they were still not a good side. We drew 2 each. So we switched off in the last couple of minutes of the game. And that's what the Premier League is now. And all those teams in the bottom half, like Newcastle were in the Champions League, finished 12th. Chelsea finishing 10th. these sides that are spending a fortune are finishing in the bottom half. That's the standards now. But with Gyökeres, he really thrived in those games. And the year before, we were actually dropping points in those games. So it's a bit of a, if Havertz was fit last season and we were able to manage Gyökeres minutes, rotate him, and play him in the games that suited him, the view might be different of him, because there are games where he's excellent and he can really deliver for you. But then there's other games, City at the weekend, he comes on, he loses the ball virtually every time. It won't stick to him in this league, because when you're playing against a top defender, you mentioned the ball coming to him at a head height, him heading it, knocking someone out of the way. His balance is quite poor. So what you'll see from him is he goes in and he dives in with his shoulder and he ends up on the floor, because he doesn't have that kind of wide set and low gravity that someone like Havertz has, and he doesn't use it properly. But then there's other games where he does just barge a defender out of the way and he runs through and he's a powerhouse. So he can be very frustrating to watch, because he's got the best celebration in the world. I really want him to do well. And there's something quite likable about him, because he is a very honest pro. I like how serious and that kind of stoic demeanor that he's got. But there are the technical oddities that are so glaringly out of place in our team as well, that's what makes people not like him.
I'd
So,
say
yeah,
you nail on the head there in terms of the reason he's made it to where he is, which is at the best club in England winning titles, is just because of his drive, his determination. At Coventry, there were certain times where he was like, no, I'm going to be better than this club. I am going to be one of the best in the world. I think that is what you see on the pitch, which is why at maybe a smaller club, he would be somewhat of a fan's favourite against the odds, dragging a team forward, which is what we saw here. Obviously very different, and a very different system to try and fit in at Arsenal. Jig, we kind of know roughly what kind of Cov 11 we're going to get. Do you want to run through your predicted 11 for this one? It's probably going to be similar to what we saw against Monaco, we think, right?
Yeah, from a Cov point of view.
Yeah. Do Cov's 11,
So,
and I'll go to Adam for Arsenal's.
yeah, Rushworth. Yes, we had him last season on loan. We've signed him. A great signing for us, I think. De Silva, left back, who has been there a good few years now. He's not very big in stature. He's good technically, but I think this may be a weak point for us, and you might.
If Gyökeres
see
comes
that
up against him at some point,
Yeah.
he'll be in a little bit of danger.
So where does he play?
He's left back. Okay. Yeah. We've got a new centre half, Amenda, who's a big lad. I think he's 6'6", 6'7". He's a big unit, and Bobby Thomas, who's been with us for a couple of seasons now, 2-3 seasons. I think them two will work well together as two centre halves. They're two physical, big centre halves who shouldn't lose a header, really. And then we've got a lad called Milan Van Eyck, right back, and he's been there a while. I think he's Premier League ready. I think he's been Premier League ready for a couple of seasons. He bombs up and down the wing. He's fast. He's got pace. He's got a long throw in as well, and he reads the game well. Yeah. So defensively, we're okay. I think we're maybe a little bit weak on the left-hand side. And then when we move to midfield, I think we're going to have a real good midfield battle against Arsenal. And I think we've signed a lad called Llorente, who had interest from Madrid, from Chelsea. We've managed to get hold of him somehow. I don't know how. He's only 20. My worry with him is his discipline record. He got 9 yellows last season, I think, and gave away a couple of pens. If he gets into a bit of argy-bargy with Bruno, I don't know. There might be a bit of naivety in him for his age. That's my only worry with him. But he's everywhere. You'll see him all over the pitch, covering every blade of grass, getting stuck into people. Him and Onyeka in the middle of the park. So we signed Onyeka from Brentford. He come in on loan last season and helped get us over the line to the Premier League. So we've got 2 battling midfielders there. Where are we now? We've got Matty Grimes. Matty Grimes, who sits just behind him. A lot smaller in stature, not as physical in the tackle, but very good on the ball, very composed, and could find a pass and pick a pass out. He's very calm. He's a calming influence in the middle of the park. And he was our captain last year, and he was a huge part in us in that promotion winning team, title winning team. Up front, we're struggling a little bit. So Hadji Wright's injured for us at the minute. He was our top goal scorer and has been for the last 3 seasons, I think, 2 or 3 seasons. I can't remember now. Sorry, 3 seasons. But we've got Ellis Sims, and Ellis Sims is similar to how you guys feel about Gyökeres. I think it's a bit of, some fans wouldn't mind if he went. Some fans think that you're getting on a shift out of him, and you can see what he puts in. And I think we're going to be starting with Ellis Sims, even though we've just signed a couple of other lads as well. The striker from Forest, I just don't know whether they'll bring him straight in after Sims has played the friendlies. I don't know in that aspect what will happen.
Yeah, you could be half decent, and then out wide it's probably 2 hard-working wingers in Loom Chowner and Brandon Thomas-Asante.
So Chowner's new to us as well. He's a £20 million signing from Burnley. Scored a couple of goals last season in the Premier League. Looks like he's got potential and he's promising. And Thomas Asante on the other side just works very hard. There's no real composure or at the end of his game. I sound a bit harsh here saying that, because
we've signed runners, haven't we? We've got runners.
We've got a battling team. We've got we've got a physical battling midfield, I think.
It's interesting that, because what's his name, Southampton manager a couple of years ago, he said that the big thing that they got wrong when they came up was they didn't buy runners. They didn't get physicality, and the league is so. Russell Martin. Yeah, it didn't help that Russell Martin was obsessed with playing it out from the back against the very best teams. But the physicality point was definitely true, and they bought a lot of technical players. So clearly Lampard has seen that and realised you need that ability to run, to break, to counter, and transition properly in this league, but also to stop that and have players that can do those repeat sprints. So it sounds like some clever recruitment. And Awani, interestingly, I saw that pop up yesterday and was kind of hoping that he wouldn't start the game, because although he's had a mixed time at Forest, he's always given us quite a bit of trouble. And a couple of years, 23-24 season, he had 2 excellent games against us. He scored away when we played at the City Ground. But really difficult player, one of those big, tall, kind of cumbersome forwards, but he's effective, and that's what you need whenever you're scrapping for results.
Yeah, exactly. I think we might see him off the bench. Sims is kind of similar in profile. It will be a scrap. He just needs to be better when he's holding the ball up, especially when we're going to be coming under so much pressure. Adam, do you want to quickly run us through your predicted Arsenal lineup, and then we'll do some score predictions?
I think Raya nailed on, then left back Nkapie, left centre back Gabriel, right Mascara, Ben White right back. Midfield's the interesting one. I think Lewis Skelly starts, then most likely Odegaard after his performance the other day, and then it's probably going to be one of Bruno or Rice, depending on who's more ready. I think it's probably going to be Bruno. I don't think you throw Rice straight in for this game. On the right, I would imagine Madueke keeps his place, even though he was hit and miss the other night. But Saka's there. Diamond's had a very good preseason as well. He will be looking for minutes. And then through the middle, I think Havertz keeps his place given what he did. But Gyökeres has played a lot of football in preseason, started every game. I wouldn't be surprised if the lineup came out and it was Gyökeres on the team sheet against his former club. And then on the left, Solis nailed on. He will definitely start. So he's been one of the sharpest in preseason. So he's got a goal or an assist in every game, barring one, including
that's the new signing. Is that the new thing? Yeah.
So one thing about him is he had a couple of games for Club Brugge before he joined, and had started preseason early with them. So he is sharper than the rest of the squad.
I worry
God,
for Silva listing
the 3 names you just listed, 3 right wingers then, and I was thinking, oh my life, who was it? Saka
did well on.
Double up.
How hard does the left winger work?
BTA, he will run forward and backwards. He will work very hard if he's instructed to be in front of Jada Silva and provide protection. We're not in a position now, Adam, where we have wingers who don't track back or work. We don't have any, lazy wingers. We are going into this with 5 midfielders who are going to work and work and work. And I think that's the best way to be. And hopefully the number 9 will work hard as well. But obviously there's only so much you can do even when doubling up against players of that quality.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the point about hold up play, that's key, because if that ball bounces off him, Gabriel's there, someone is there immediately. And you will have heard teams talk about Arsenal suffocating you. Harry Maguire said it last year. There were loads of players after the game were like, we couldn't live with the intensity. And that is what Arsenal's all about. That is the identity of Arteta. He doesn't give teams space to breathe. If that ball bounces, it's win the second ball straight away. Make sure you get it. Very heavy on the counter press as well. But that died off in the second half of last season. I expect it to come back quickly this year. So better hope the touches are good on Friday night.
Jig's going to the Emirates Arsenal away. I think he's looking more nervous now than he was half an hour ago. We did our score predictions, didn't we, on our pod a couple of days ago, Jig? I've not changed my mind despite Adam scaring me. I think we will lose. I think we'll lose 2-1. I would just want to see a really battling performance, really good display, stay in the game as long as possible. Would love a goal. Have a weird feeling, Adam, that we're going to score first. I can't explain it. I just think we might catch you out with a long throw or something and shock the Premier League for a few moments before, reality hits in and we do end up losing the game. I think we're going to score first. I think we're going to lose 2-1. Jig, have you changed your mind? What did you say?
I said 2-2. This was on the Coventry City podcast, but this is on our podcast, and I was like backing this. I've been impressed with what I've seen in the two pre-season games against Espanyol and Monaco, especially the Monaco game, which was last Friday. But then when you reel the names off in the Arsenal team,
we could lose 5 or 6-0, couldn't we? Quite easily, and we just have to write it off. But we've got hope because we haven't played a game yet. We have hope. Yeah. It's before the season. What are you going with, Jig? You going for a draw still?
Catch them cold. I'm going to stick with it. Yeah, a late equaliser, 2-2 thriller.
I need to give us a massive dose of reality, Adam.
Yeah.
Give us a picture, please, mate.
It's funny because you said you looked quite good in preseason. We looked awful, and we kept conceding screamers. People were just picking the ball, picking the corners. If you look at the goals we conceded in preseason, it was banger after banger, just unbelievable finishes. So if you do that, you might be all right. But I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal. I don't think we'll go out and blow you away in a 5-0, for example. I just don't think we're at that point. But Sunday was a reminder of the quality of players that we have and just how good we are when most of our best players are on the pitch, and there was still a lot missing. So with an extra 4 or 5 days training, I would like to hope we come out and put on a show for the first day as champions.
Well, if we match Man City's results all season, Jig, we won't do too badly, will we? Losing 3-0 to Arsenal is a good result.
Yeah, it means we'll get a draw against Man City, doesn't it, when we play them?
There you go. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed listening or watching to this little bonus episode we've done. Adam, thank you so much for coming on, mate. Please do check out his Arsenal podcast for any kind of post-match stuff, especially if we get something at the Emirates. Go and rub it in on Adam's channel. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll be back with our post-match stuff after the Arsenal game at the weekend, and we will see you then.